the highest amount of cowgirls per square mile.
The first one in the world, right here.
This is gonna be an adventure. Are you the sheriff, Butch? Very delicious, very tender. So you're single, right?
Ta-da-da-da! Typical living the American dream right there.
Whoa.
Yeah, I'm at the White House. I met old Bill.
So in Lakeside, you can walk down the yellow line. The ranching dream.
Absolutely. Who wouldn't want to live this? We were hoping to find a lot of rednecks out here, weren't you? These are south of the border brats, and we do a beer brat.
Basically a military fire truck here.
That's the tour right there.
I feel like I'm truly leaving the earth better than it was before I got here.
They never told this story. Where was this story?
Good morning, guys. Here in western Nebraska, a place where I've been told by the locals has the highest amount of cowgirls per square mile. So today, we're gonna meet a cowgirl who I've been told is ranchy and as tough as woodpecker lips. First time hearing that one. So let's get out there. I believe it's 20 more miles this way and go learn about what this cowgirl culture is all about. Let's do this. Here we are, Wilson's Flying Diamond Ranch. Jacqueline.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
We're gonna do some ranching.
Do some ranching from the pro? Jacqueline's not one to hang around, so she just threw me on the four-wheeler and said, follow me. You gonna put me to work? Alright, I don't know if Jacqueline knows I'm shooting a video, but she's already got me to work, saying we gotta herd the cattle. Am I doing it right? I'm a natural. What's going on here?
So it's probably most likely what he's doing is he's probably was drinking the alkali. Alkali is not the greatest for them to drink. I mean, they've got fresh water up there at the windmill and stuff, but you know, I mean, water's water, so they go to the water. So all this is just electrolytes.
You have your eyes on all of these cows.
Every day.
You know all their stories.
Every day.
How many you got out here? Oh, I actually never asked that.
Never asked that. Enough to eat
Yeah,
the grass.
I learned that. Back in Texas.
Enough to eat the grass.
Don't ask acreage and don't ask how many cows.
So my grandfather always used to, when people would ask him, they go, well, how many cows do you have? He goes, well, enough to eat the grass. Well, how much grass do you have? He goes, enough to feed the cows. That was the proper answer.
So it's, for those that don't know, it's basically, how much money do you have in your bank account when you ask that question?
Well, I don't think ranchers have money in their bank account.
You guys don't?
It's like, how much money do you make? That's what
So
it
this
is.
isn't the road to getting super rich?
Yeah, I wish, right? No, this is the road. This is the road to working hard day in and day out and wondering why the hell you're doing this, because your body hurts, you're tired, and you're sore, you're cranky, and you're not making any money. So typical living the American dream right there.
So the mother's a bit protective, but lets you get in with the cow.
Sometimes, yeah, sometimes they get a little growly, but I think they know too that you're trying to help, you know. Usually electrolytes work just great, and then you don't ever have to give them any antibiotic, but if you do, you know, we're really conscientious of our antibiotic usage.
Liquid in, liquid out.
Liquid in, liquid out, right?
You grew up out here.
Yeah, born and raised.
How many generations?
Fifth.
Fifth generation on this land.
Yep.
How does that feel to carry that on?
Stressful. Very stressful.
Is it harder now versus generations prior, or hard to tell?
Well, you know, any time it seems that things get a little tough, my dad will always be like, well, you know, back in the 70s and 80s, it was like this and this and this. So, you know, I think it ebbs and flows like anything. The difference is now we have a lot more activists that we're competing against, you know, compared to probably what they had in the 80s.
What
Social media and everything, so.
What's going on with that?
I think people just don't understand. It's a lack of people being further and further removed away from agriculture, and so they just don't understand what we're doing and why we're doing it. There's a lot of misinformation out there about cows influencing the climate and climate change being, focused off of cows instead of the millions of people that travel or fly or any of those things.
Say an elite billionaire in a private jet actually has more of a global footprint than a cow.
You know me, the girl whose crew planted 2,500 trees in the last 2 weeks, but I'm the problem. So it gets frustrating and it gets old because, you look out and about here and the lands here is better than it was when it first was homesteaded.
I called you a cowgirl.
That's right, you did.
And what? Tell me, explain that to me. Because...
No, I think there's definitely females out there that are cowgirls.
So what if you're not a cowgirl? What are you?
I consider myself a cattle woman. When I personally think of a cowboy cowgirl type, I kind of think of the old John Wayne day errors where they're riding and roping and yeehawing and herding livestock long distances. And here, I'm focused on genetics, I'm focused on technology, I'm focused on...
Okay. I called you a cowgirl, is that all right?
That's quite all right.
Okay.
I'll live with that.
In
I'll
the
carry
intro,
that badge with
I said
honor.
cowgirl. Okay, but females in this world, is there an increase or a decrease?
Increase. Actually, and surprisingly, we've got a female intern. Well, most of my interns actually are female. And I'll speak quite a bit around the U.S. and surprisingly, there's getting to be a massive... Females are starting to outnumber males now in things like vet science and animal science classes and whatnot.
Why is that, do you think?
For me personally, how I see it is like every little girl grew up with a compassion for animals, or a lot of them did.
Okay.
And I think it's that relationships with, with the livestock and having that, it's a compassion thing.
So that must be tough for you if you look at what you're doing as a compassion thing for animals, and then there are groups saying that you're... No, not the eating part. No, not the eating part. I'm saying groups saying that you're doing terrible things to the animals, right?
Oh, yeah.
That must be a battle or struggle.
No, it is. It is. But you can't get too upset with people that are uninformed. But I still think it's their responsibility to become informed and to see.
Don't speak about things you don't know about, maybe.
Amen. Purest groups of salamanders are out here in this part of the country.
So the salamander came out of the water and...
Yeah, it looks like you might have got either picked on or... Yeah, poor little guy.
Do you eat them?
No. Well, actually, yes. There are people that will come in and they'll dredge these lakes for mud dogs, which is the same thing. And then they're a delicacy in foreign countries.
That comes out of Nebraska. So the dog is a big help in this process. Look at her, right in the reeds there. Gets the stragglers. How long have you been out at the ranch?
I've only been here 3 weeks, so I'm pretty new.
How is it?
It's great, I love it.
He keeps threatening to retire.
Your father.
Yeah.
So you're running this place for the most part? You're in charge?
The biggie boss.
The biggie boss,
Biggie
okay.
boss.
Are you ever able to get off the ranch? Like, can you travel? Can you go places?
Well, you need to. You need to, because that's the thing out here is there's no work-life separation.
You travel the U.S. or where do you go?
Oh, I've traveled all over the U.S. Traveled 6 continents. Have 1 continent left to visit.
6 continents?
Yeah, 1 left to go. Travel keeps me sane, number 1. And I think the other thing, too, is it just keeps you learning. Some of our biggest competition comes from Australia, New Zealand, Brazil. And I've traveled to all those places and toured ranching operations and packing facilities and a lot of their other industries.
So that's a big thing for you, is the technology side of things, the business components of it.
The technology side is huge. I don't know if you know this, but we were actually the first ranch in the entire world to tokenize a group of feedlot steers.
Okay, explain that.
So we're selling NFTs. So
get out.
No, dead serious.
Come on.
Dead serious. The first one in the world, right here.
Ranching NFTs.
Ranching NFTs. We seem to get stereotyped all the time about Hicks,
Right.
Hey, we're Hicks. But if you really think about it, ranchers have to know a little bit about everything. We have to know electrical, we have to know veterinary, we have to know conservation, we have to know plumbing, you have to know mechanical. I think that's the interesting thing was when you start talking to people in ag, you see how big and well-rounded they really are. So like I can go to your place and I can fit in, but it's a challenge for people to come out here and to fit in.
Come on, am I doing all right? On the four-wheeler, my skills
You're
aren't too
not doing
bad.
too bad. Haven't thought about yelling at you too many times yet, so that's good. Right? Perturbs me when somebody asks if they can back something up for me.
I didn't do it.
That's a big dating no-no right there.
If you're on a date and the guy asks if you
Can I
can
back
the
that?
truck
Do you need me to back that up for you? No, honey, I don't need you to back that up for me. This is a cattle pot. So you can fit, you can carry about 50 to 55,000 pounds on one.
Where are we bringing him?
We're gonna load them here and we're gonna take them to some other property that's it's about 12, 13 miles away. So it's just quicker to do it this way. Well, hopefully it'd be quicker to do it this way, God willing.
You just sort of get used to poop, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, but human and dog poop just like grosses me out.
Human and dog poop, but cows is okay.
Cows
Okay.
is okay. Come on, ladies, let's go.
What's the
You mean you do whatever. Yeah! Yeah! Or you whistle. Or say, hey, cow.
This guy really scared. Come on, man.
I don't know of any other female cattle pod drivers. I know they're out there, but I don't know of any around this area.
And we're gonna let them all out. New grazing territory. This is leased land, I guess. I'm thinking that's what's going on here. So they put the cattle out on this land to graze. They pay a fee to whomever. And that's what a lot of these ranching operations are like. They have their own land, but they also might lease land. Is this your favorite part of the job or worst part?
Well, it's not their fault. I mean, this is the first time they've been on a semi, so it's not their fault. But it definitely makes it a little more unenjoyable.
So guys, that was roughly 30 minutes to get all these cows out. Not an easy process. Some of them very stubborn.
You know, I bet John Wayne didn't picture ranching quite like this, right?
Is this why everyone's moving to Montana to live the ranching dream?
Absolutely. Yeah, who wouldn't want to live this, right? It's good for your skin.
What do you think is misunderstood about women out on the ranch? How about that one? How about that one?
I have no clue.
No,
Actually, you know I do, because I remember there's been a lot of times over the years that I got asked, so do you keep the books? What's it like to keep the books? Or, you know, I'd show up in my big pickup and they'd be like, oh, is this your daddy's pickup? I'm like, no, this is mine. So, yeah,
So they think you're not going to do the work,
I
the
think-
dirty work.
Well, evidently we do. Right?
Here's the proof.
Here's the proof.
You don't worry about them turning on you?
You do. Yeah, you've got to be extremely cautious, especially if you get inside at all. Like these is their first time on this semi, you know, I mean, it's something completely new to them. By the time they get to be mature cows, they load up and off.
But it's dangerous in there.
It is very.
I wouldn't want to jump into that.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. I need to buy coveralls and be like a real super trucker, but they don't make very good female ones.
You have a nice perfume on now.
I know, well, that Aurora. People used to say it was a smell of money.
So, super dangerous though, yeah?
Very dangerous.
Like you wouldn't put your dad in there?
No, absolutely not. Everybody's gonna see what we can touch that we won't be totally covered in.
Yeah, how do you keep everything so clean?
Right? Practice. A lot of practice.
Smells good.
Yeah, it does. It smells good.
Who cooked?
Huh?
Who cooked here?
I did.
Oh, you have a crock pot.
Pot's the rancher's best friend.
Very delicious. Very tender.
Awesome. Well,
What cut is this?
it's a chuck.
It's a chuck.
It's
okay.
a chuck. So
That was actually selected. It was genomic tested and selected for its tenderness. So it's in the upper third of all tenderness. On a 1 to 10 scale, everything that we're eating right now is a 7 or above on terms of tenderness.
Genomic, walk me through that genomic
So
testing.
what we were able to do on a live critter, we can take a tiny earplug out of them and send them into a company that's actually, they have a facility in Lincoln called Neogen, and they will run the genomics on it and can tell you, like, does this animal have the gene trait that it will show traits of tenderness, traits of marbling, traits of performance data, traits of maternal traits. And so, yeah, so all of this was selected specifically how it rated on the tenderness trait.
There's a huge breadth of knowledge that goes with all of this.
You're figuring that out, aren't you?
I am. No, it's crazy.
You were hoping to find a lot of rednecks out here, weren't you?
Look, I'm actually, I've been surprised. I find in these ranches, there's more of a natural confidence in people.
Well, it's because
versus cities.
We're self-sufficient. I have family. That's a prime example. Like, they come out here in the middle of winter. They won't have winter gear in their vehicle. We're like, what do you do if you get a flat tire? And they'll be like, well, we call AAA. Okay. So in the winter, like, I'm completely prepared for everything in my vehicle. But at the same time, like, if I have a flat tire, I'm going to change it.
That's good. Thank you.
We ship. So
You ship.
we do ship. Yeah.
Guys, I will leave the link below on that so you can check out the website, get some amazing meat. This is the real deal. And I think one thing I learned just in the last 2 days, you have the grazing, right?
Correct.
Then you have the feeding.
Correct.
That's the next process where they get penned in closer and they're just standing there and eating.
Yeah.
For how many weeks?
Usually around 120 days.
Okay.
So the majority of their life's on grass.
That's what I thought was ranching.
Yeah. Well,
See, I didn't know.
I'm glad we're breaking your conceptions here.
Right. I saw the images of that, and I'm like, I know they're good operations, but that looks pretty hardcore. And I think the worst images have been presented to people, at least for me. I can speak to that because I'm like, ooh, that looks pretty hardcore.
Yeah.
And the images like that I've been in the last couple weeks are a different story. And I know both are probably true, right? Both are true. Like, some people are doing it pretty poorly. Fair to say?
In any industry, though, people do work.
In any, they're always D players in whatever.
Any occupation, you
Right.
have the bad players. The saving grace is that, usually in our occupation, those bad players weed themselves out. And it's because of either economics or, we don't tolerate it. If there's any form of that stuff going around with anybody that we know, it's not tolerated. So
Do you have a ranching cartel out here?
I'm the lead of it.
I know.
Surprise.
So you were saying earlier the biggest challenge is regulation, right?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. That's the big one. Take, for instance, you're completely amazed that this exists. That the beef industry includes areas like this. But yet there's a lot of people that have never set foot out here. But yet they're more than ready to tell us how we're supposed to run our business. And, what the environment needs to do. And this needs to happen. And yeah, that's the scary part.
I'm seeing out there, super hard work, not easy. You're walking through poop, through mud, through everything, under the sun. Cash poor, land rich.
Asset rich.
Asset rich. And what keeps you from just going like, I'm tapping out, I'm done, I'm gonna be asset rich, cash rich, no work, off into the sunset?
Oh, why would I tap out? Probably it's too stubborn, first off. But no, it's the biggest thing here is I think there's a lot of responsibility in terms of being the generation that doesn't mess it up. Yeah, and what I mean by that, especially in multi-generational operations, it's just so important to, we have such a lifestyle here that my forefathers developed, and and they were passionate about it. My dad's passionate about it. My dad lives in Breezes.
And you're saying he's your best friend?
He's my best friend. Yeah.
You never fought once?
I don't ever remember.
Working together. That's what you said in the truck.
Yeah, I don't remember it. I don't remember us ever fighting. Like, not like, I think people yell at each other. I don't even remember us yelling at each other. Like, with intent.
So you're too proud and stubborn to just give up on this and take the easy route.
Yeah, but the thing is it's a great lifestyle. You know, I'm my own boss. You know, I'm doing, what am I doing? I'm taking care of the environment. You know, I'm taking care of animals. I have a purpose. I'm providing people food. You know, there's so many great things about this. I feel like I'm truly leaving the earth better than it was before I got here.
You were saying you don't have internet? No internet.
Wi-Fi.
No Wi-Fi.
No way. Here at the house.
So you're reading a lot of books?
Yes.
Okay, so here's the view. We have the valet parking. Right? Valet.
Yeah, valet. That's the best parking spot you can get, right?
And then what are you reading?
Should we go see?
Yeah. So is the no internet on purpose?
Yes, very much so.
Just to what? Stay free from the noise?
Need to disconnect sometime during the day. These are historical parts. Do a lot of Christian. There's some financial, political, self-help, teamwork. The World is Flat. That's a great book.
That's a classic.
Travel books, because who doesn't love to travel?
Ukraine, Nashville, Poland.
Oh, of shame.
Whoa, you and
Yeah, I was at the
Bill?
White House. I met old Bill.
He didn't do anything funny, did he?
No, I don't think I'm his type. Mike Johans. Mike was our U.S. Senator, and then he was Secretary of Ag, and then Governor Heinemann. Great guy. So,
Oh, wow. Very interesting. And so you're breaking all the stereotypes because you don't like country music, right?
I don't. No. It's my favorite.
Please don't touch the bison.
It's actually an art exhibit. So it was an art exhibit at the Sheldon down in Lincoln. They had these miniature ceramic bison everywhere, and that sure was awesome. So
But bison were here before you guys, right?
they were here before us. Yes.
And how different is the land with bison versus cows? Or you wouldn't know?
It's a lot better now because the bison, they don't rotate like the cattle do. Their grazing patterns are different. So it used to be a lot sandier and not as much vegetation.
Okay.
Welcome to Claire.
These are individual orders and you ship them out?
Right. These are actually called the solo pack, so they're like the ideal package for one person. This is all biodegradable insulation, so you just cornstarch, so you just run it under water and it evaporate underwater. So kind of eco-friendly.
So walk me through it. Someone from New York orders something online, they get a bag like this, you put it in a box, you send it to them. It stays cold for that long?
Yeah, so we'll put dry ice in it, and then usually UPS, but we can also ship Southwest Air. So they could even get it the same day that we put it in. And then this is all the cuts. We do brats too. These are amazing. These are south of the border brats. And then we do a beer brat.
Ground beef for hamburgers?
Yep, and this is individual animal ground beef. So all of these are labeled down here at the bottom. And at 8415, that was the animal's ID. So I know exactly what day that animal was born, traced it all the way through to this package.
So someone can feel good about them knowing that what your dog's name?
Gemma.
Gemma was herding the cattle hours earlier. Eventually it ends up in there. And then Southwest plane to someone's freezer, to their kitchen table. Not a promotional video, guys, but when I see very cool companies doing amazing things, gotta support them. So that link is below. And you won't be showing up, but the spirit will be in every product.
It will be.
So you're single, right?
I am.
What's the dating
No.
scene like out here?
What dating scene? I work. Yeah, no, there's no dating scene out here. Because you don't date locally, because everybody knows who you are. And so you try to avoid that if you can. And so then ideally, the ideal situation is somebody you just see 1 or 2 days a week who maybe has a plane
In
or
Denver.
helicopter and could just come in. And I mean, that's ideal, but for some reason those are tough to find.
I've noticed in these places there's a huge trend for women finding the cowboy.
Right, they never told this story. Where was this story? They forgot this story. What about the cowgirl? The cowgirl, right? Finding the New York finance person, or the Wall Street guy. Where's that story at?
You were saying how much is one of these trailers?
The new ones are 6 figures.
Six figures.
6 figures.
Like 100,000 or way more?
No, like not very far over.
This is your local town.
This is Lakeside.
This is Lakeside.
Population. I don't know what the population is. It's unincorporated. The sign says unincorporated. That means you live in the boonies.
So in Lakeside, you can walk down the yellow line.
You can. You could lay on the yellow line too if you wanted to. I don't know if I'd recommend it. I went to school here in Lakeside. We'll see
Okay.
it up here.
How many kids in your class?
I was the only one usually.
So it's just one-on-one instruction. You and the
well,
teacher.
no, the teacher. So the teacher was like K through 3rd.
Okay.
There's probably no more than 10. You could go at your own pace, and the teachers were excellent. And yeah, so we come to school and we go home and work on the ranch, and that was pretty much life growing up. This is the church. Here.
Do you go here?
I'm a member here. Yes.
Okay, and here's the school.
Sign's getting really crooked. Yeah, it looks like the world's busting back.
You built this sign.
Oh yeah, a long time ago. Needless to say, my metal skills have got a lot better since then.
Okay. This was 1st through 3rd grade.
No, this was K through 8.
K through 8.
Yeah, K through 8. So we didn't go to middle school. You just went right from here to high school. Got it, sir. How goes it? Got your stash there?
Yep. Budweiser.
He has Budweiser in his bag.
You're sponsored by Budweiser?
Yeah.
So Punk, this is Peter. Peter, this is Ardith. And
How you doing?
Punk.
How you doing?
Nice to meet you,
We're
Punk.
doing a lakeside tour today.
Oh, I see. That'll take most of the day.
It will take most.
It will. We're in the south side right now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, you're on the
South of the
north
track,
side
most
because
of
you don't want to go across the track. So, yeah,
That's hardcore down there?
it's hardcore on the south side.
Post
Post office, da 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 da. Delivers mail out 6 days a week.
6 days.
6 days a week. 110 mile is what the mailman travels.
110 miles.
Yep.
So these are all the P.O. boxes for the town.
Yep.
Okay, that's the full tour.
That's the tour right there.
What about kids now going to school? How do they get to school?
For some that go to Hyannis, they live down there by the refuge down at Crescent Lake, which is 20 to 30 miles south of Lakeside. They would be driving them that distance, which would those roads down there, it takes like an hour drive.
Right.
Getting them here, putting them on a school bus, and then they go another like 45 minutes to get to school.
So the parents are driving an hour to here in their own car,
Yep.
not on a bus.
Nope.
And then bus here.
And
Okay.
then busing their kids to school. Those poor kids, sun up to sundown,
Wow. So gas prices do play a big part in this rural life right now.
Oh, absolutely.
With all this drive time.
Yeah, absolutely. Anything you need. Food, mechanic, the truck and moving cattle. I mean, all of it is, you got to pay for it somehow.
Yeah. I don't know how you guys do it, to be honest.
So honestly, what we did is we just got this last year because what it does is it takes the middleman out. Because right now, if I was hiring this done, it would be probably over $7 a loaded mile. Nobody locks their vehicles. I don't know whose vehicle that is. He's gonna be like, what the
Everything looks good. Just keep playing in the street. Everything will come out okay.
Peter, this is Butch. Peter.
Butch, nice to meet you.
Nice to know you.
Are you the sheriff, Butch?
He's the sheriff and the mayor.
No,
Wow.
I'm no sheriff, but I am the fire chief.
He's the fire chief.
Okay.
Hey, can Peter look at the equipment?
I'm going right there right
Perfect.
now.
Let's go
Follow
check
me.
out the fire.
That's where I'm going.
Butch, I like your boots.
Thank you.
Styling.
I get those handmade. I get them made in Fort Worth, Texas by M.L. Letty.
Emma Letty, that's a
They-
great story.
They've made my boots for 40 years.
So you guys are very proud of your fire department, yeah?
Yeah, we are.
It's all volunteer, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Nobody's getting paid in here.
No,
Correct.
no.
So everyone
one-
just comes together
We
for
just got this thing put together and we did it ourselves.
Oh, wow. Good
That
work.
was fancy, Butch.
Well, we do. We try to do a good job. We're running out of people.
Everybody.
Well, you guys are you're all business, but then you're all fun too at the same time.
Absolutely, yeah.
Right.
That's our, hey, we got a pretty good bar.
You're running out of people. People moving out of town or what?
What the hell? It's the way it is.
But you have basically a military fire truck here.
Yeah, we've got 3 of these, just like this.
I've never seen one of these.
They are something else. They are awesome. We got 2 of them here And one of them is in the fire shed at Bam.
Okay, so if you're worried about fires, this is definitely the place to live.
Yeah. Worst fire year I ever saw. In 2012 was some fires. I have to make those goddamn reports out. And I sent in, I don't even remember what I did in July. I did quite a few, but in August it was like every goddamn day. We went to 28 fires, and some of them were 36 to 48 hours long.
You didn't sleep much.
Not a hell of a lot. That pumping unit. I want to take a look at that son of a...
Holy smokes.
Do you know how long it takes to fill that tank?
How long?
3 minutes and 10 seconds.
Seriously?
That's a 2,500 gallon tank, and I can draft it in 3 minutes and 10 seconds with
You're
this pump.
you're winning competitions with this truck.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So okay,
What would they do?
off the camera before you were saying $1,500 lease from the Forest Service
That's
for
what it
99
was.
years.
It's whatever the freight was. We
Just
pay here's what we do. We pay the freight that it takes them to get it from somewhere to Lincoln. Because that's where they come out of.
And that $1,500 you're done.
We're done.
All right, guys. Jacqueline, thank you.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it. Very interesting view into your world. I learned a lot. Hopefully, you
learned
guys
a
did
lot.
too. Let's not get hit. We're not going to get hit though, huh?
I'm not gonna get. I don't see any traffic.
And I want to leave Jacqueline's website below to the ranch. If you want meat, do you want to sell meat?
Sure, sell beef. Sell the beef.
So, okay.
Clear that freezer out.
You saw the beef. It's very tasty. That link is down below for the Wilson Flying Diamond Ranch. What are my final thoughts here? What I gotta say is, you guys work hard. And I was just out here for a little bit, and I know that was just one part of it. And you also have a lot of danger in your work.
True.
Going into a trailer with massive cows,
Heifers.
heifers, sorry,
Heifers.
that are freaking out a little bit.
A little.
That takes some courage. So a lot of work, a lot of variables like weather. Like you do all this work, you have all this leased equipment or finance equipment, and then you're relying on clouds and rain, and that's totally out of your control. So my point is, I think you get a lot of good life lessons in this work
Very much so.
because you learn
Very much
things are out of your control. You're dealing with danger, so you're not just sitting behind a firewall all the time,
Nope.
right, in a safe zone.
Nope.
And you're connected to nature.
Amen.
That's how I'm gonna sum it up.
Amen.
All right, guys, thanks for coming on that mission. Until the next one. You're just gonna point over to the horses. I'm gonna make
Ooh,
this
there's
say thunder.
Ooh, the dog's
Okay,
peeing in the background.
here we go. That's perfect. Go for it. Go for it. Go for it. Give me your thumb up. Okay.
Ah, yeah. Wait, with the point. The gun shows that away. Are we good now?
I think we got a thumbnail.
Okay,
That's the
good.
goal. How far does your land go over there?
You see that really, really tall hill?
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
I just might have gotten the shot I was looking for. You didn't know I was doing that.
Ah! Dang it! Oh!